Okay, now we're going to go over how to connect PaperlessParts and StartProto for a very smooth sales to fulfillment process. So first we'll go and enter our StartProto account. We'll go to the settings here. We'll go to connect PaperlessParts. We'll see we have our asked for an API key, a tenant URL, and a webhook signing secret. We'll go ahead and create the webhook in PaperlessParts here according to this, right? So we'll name it whatever you please and trigger it on order created and order changed, as well as integration actions and integration turned on and off. Once we have that webhook, we should see here signing secret. We'll reveal that. We'll copy that and paste it in here. Same thing for our API key. And then tenant URL. We'll go ahead and click connect here. If we go ahead and look inside the PaperlessParts at our orders list, we'll want to determine from which order we would like to start syncing information into StartProto. So in this case, we don't want to sync any of our past orders, so we're going to set this to 47. Settle this up, it should look a little bit like this. We will want to go ahead and set up a user here within our system for the integration. Now this is not mandatory, but it does make it much easier to see what is imported from the integration versus made by an individual user. Alright, now let's go over some of the things that will sync from StartProto into PaperlessParts. So you'll see here we have our, in this case, buy item or materials/components list. You'll see there's a field that'll be set up by your customer success team here. For PaperlessParts category, you can mark something as either a component or a material, and then we will go ahead and sync the default buy option of that material into PaperlessParts every time you make an edit. So if we go in here, edit the buy item, let's say we want to rename this to 0.012125, and the second we save that, it should then pop over as a material into PaperlessParts. And we can do the same thing here for this screw. And instead of 3/8, we'll do 0.375 here. Go ahead and save that. And every time we save that, it'll actually go ahead and then push that over into PaperlessParts. You'll see here that purchase component was brought over to our purchase component table for use within the system, and that material was brought over to a custom StartProto material items table as well. And you can use this throughout Paperless to get more accurate quotes. Same thing applies for companies. So let's say there's a new company made within StartProto. We'll just make this StartProto Inc. So you'll see one address here is our default billing and is available for shipping, and the other one is just a shipping address. So once we go ahead and create that, we will again see this pop up over in PaperlessParts under our contacts module. So you'll see StartProto Inc. here with that contact, and then the shipping address here was brought over as a facility, and the billing address is a billing address. So this will keep all your contacts in sync, and if we go to use this, it'll actually go ahead and associate that with the orders in StartProto as well. So that's all the syncing from StartProto, or exporting from StartProto into PaperlessParts. Now let's go over how items get brought over. So you'll see we've prepared this quote here in PaperlessParts with our item. Inside this item, this is a handguard assembly, right? So we can take a look at this. Take a look at this handguard. You'll see we have a tube that needs to be machined here, as well as a number of machine components and some purchase component hardware. So we have laid this out with obviously an assembly operation at the top level, and then each of these has machining steps associated with it. So you'll see here saw, cut, mill, and lathe, and that kind of goes throughout. So we'll go ahead and return to that quote, and the second we facilitate this as an order, we can say that, all right, the customer chose to make 10 of these at a 10-day lead time, and, do some of this non-recurring engineering here. And the second we go ahead and create that order and go ahead and complete that order. So now this order that we've confirmed over in PaperlessParts has moved over into StartProto. So we'll see that order here with all of the information we put in there, that PO number, that new company that was created on the fly here, as well as obviously the item here. And this is kind of where it gets interesting. We can click into this item, and it has brought over the full bill of materials and work routing for this item. Now from there, you'll just look at your job suggestions. It will have automatically shown up there as well, and just go ahead and make a new job. Once you've gotten to the job, this is how you'll manage your production throughout the floor. You'll see here our bill of materials will very accurately track your statuses. Some of these will even be partially complete based on your inventory, and obviously then we'll generate our purchasing list and work lists from there. And that's how you and your team can be very effective. Let your sales team do what they do best in PaperlessParts. Let your production team do what they do best in StartProto.